There are really two politicians in America that the media just can't seem to get enough of these days. One is Obama, and the other is Governor Blagojevich. He's got a media blitz going on right now. I'm not going to recap the story. You pretty much know it. If you don't know it, I wonder have you been watching the Weather Channel? He may be on that as well. Let's go to the guy who was at the center of the storm, Governor Blagojevich. Welcome, sir.
Thanks for having me, Glenn.
I will tell you...
It's a hot time, speaking of weather.
Yeah, I will tell you, sir, that I'm not a fan.
Yep.
I think you're getting a raw deal on not being able to present evidence. So that's the way it is. William Jefferson Clinton didn't get that opportunity either. But and maybe it's just me, but I think I'm a lot like most people. I don't trust a single damn one of you politicians. I just assume you're guilty for a myriad of reasons, but one of which is, you know and I know, Illinois is corrupt to the hilt. So convince me that you're not the guy that everybody says you are.
Appreciate that, and I don't necessarily disagree with your assessment of politicians in general, and I know there will be a lot of people who are going to find what I'm about to say difficult to stomach, but I don't consider myself one of those. I view myself as someone who's worked real hard to try to fight for people who otherwise don't have a voice, and to do it in a way that doesn't burden the middle class. I fought for 6 years, members of my own party who've been trying to raise the income tax. At the same time, we've expanded health care, give our seniors free rides on public transportation. We've done a lot of things for people, but not on the backs of the middle-class families. A different kind of politics. And I believe deeply in what I've tried to do. I've taken on a system in Springfield, our state government, and old political establishments. Part of that I come from. There's no question about that. Yet I believe my heart is pure, and I've tried very hard to try to do what's right. I've gotten into a rough and tumble business. I've tried to keep myself in a politically strong place so I could do the people's business. And again, I see my story, it's ironic considering what I'm facing, as a modern-day Frank Capra story. I see myself as those old black and white movies with Jimmy Stewart and Gary Cooper.
Because I've heard the Gandhi thing, I've heard the Martin Luther King thing. Now you're saying you're Mr. Smith Goes to Washington?
I'm saying that's how I see myself, a guy who's trying to do right by people, and I've got some of the establishment coming back at me. Sure.
Help me out on this. Because I think that those tapes should be exposed, and I know they're being played today. They should be played, all of it.
Should be, in their entirety.
Let's hear
context.
Help me out, because you say you're being taken out of context.
That's right.
Okay. Help me out, because I'm trying to figure this one out. Here's what we don't have any context. Here's what we have. An expletive, valuable thing. The Senate seat, an empty Senate seat, is an expletive, valuable thing. I just don't give it away for nothing. I've got this thing, and it's an expletive golden. Okay, tell me the context that's in besides, you know what would be totally wrong of me to say is this. Tell me the context that is said around that makes this not selling a seat.
Well, let me begin by saying I have never, ever, ever been involved in any activity that was about selling a U.S. Senate seat in the way that you're trying to suggest and others have. So I want to be clear.
You're trading.
Yeah.
You're trading the seat for power or whatever. Tell me, sir, how that's okay.
Now, let me say another thing. I can't acknowledge whether what you just read is accurate or not, because we haven't had a chance to see all those tapes. I would like in an impeachment trial in Illinois to be able...
sound like you?
I would like to be able to have all of those tapes right now so we can have a chance to hear them in their entire context.
Does this sound like you?
Having said that, assuming what you say is in fact the case, then that's open to all kinds of interpretations. As you said, there's the normal give and take in the political process to try to get things done for people. If that Senate seat was all about me, I could have made myself a U.S. Senator the next day after Obama was elected, because the governor can choose himself as a U.S. Senator. And if I did that, I wouldn't be...
Are we playing the definition of is? Is that the game we're playing?
No, not at all. I'm simply saying those.
Well, there's all kinds of explanations for this. I don't understand. You don't give it away for nothing. I got this thing and it's effing golden.
Well, I mean, I'll give you a hypothetical on something that you can interpret that a certain way. I would like them to help me pass a jobs bill so we can put people to work. I would like them to come to Illinois, help break up the gridlock so we can expand health care for people. I would like them to help us hold the line on taxes, because the Democrats in my party want to raise taxes on middle-class families.
Excuse me if I have a really hard time just buying into when I hear a Democrat in Illinois saying you're trying to keep taxes low. I'm just having a hard time buying into that.
I wish you would do your homework, because you'll see for 6 years I did. And I fought members of my own party against raising income taxes on people. Yes, I did.
Just certain people. And usually Democrats don't have a hard time raising them on certain people.
I don't disagree with you. Unfortunately, there are members of my party who think that all the solutions ought to be done on the backs of middle-class families with higher taxes. And if they remove me from office with this unfair impeachment, the way they're doing it, an income tax increase is coming on the people of Illinois by Memorial Day.
Okay. You say that you were great, and you're for the people, and you've worked hard.
I'm not saying I'm great.
You said you worked hard, and you did the things to put yourself in a political position where you can get the job done.
Right.
Right?
Right.
4% approval rating before the scandal. 4.
No, that's total baloney. Total baloney. But when I clear my name, it'll be up to 10%. That's total baloney.
It was 4% before the scandal. Yes, it was, and it went up 3 points after the scandal at 7%.
Yeah. Not true.
What was it?
It depends on the polls you're looking at. Every
what
governor,
was the poll? What was the poll you like to cite?
I don't know. I saw one in the 20s. Okay.
You saw one in the 20s.
Not good.
Okay.
But look, here, there is no governor that's doing well. Now, obviously, what's happened to me.
Sarah Palin. In the 70s. She was at 87 before the press took a hold of her. She's in the 70s.
And by the way, her attorney general that she appointed, she told me at Philadelphia, was my former roommate in law school. How do you like that? Good guy by the name of Talis Colberg. I want to plug him. I just thought I'd throw that out.
I have to tell we're doing shout-outs now.
Go ahead.
Governor, I have to tell you.
Yes, Glenn.
Do you understand that, first of all, if you're innocent,
yes, I am.
I understand. If you're innocent, then you know what? The biggest tragedy is being done right now, and we need to get to the bottom of it. If you're guilty, do you realize the damage you're doing to the country? Do you realize that? If you're on television and you're looking at me and you're looking at America in the eye and saying, I mean, look me in the eye now.
I'm looking you right in the eye.
You tell me.
Yes.
You are absolutely clean. You had nothing to do with this.
I'm telling you, I did not commit any criminal acts.
Don't do this, because it makes me think of Clinton. Very bad thing to say. I did not do that.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not guilty of any criminal wrongdoing. Any conversation I had, there was no criminal intent. The conversations were had with top staff, senior political advisors for a long period of time, discussing a whole bunch of ideas, a lot of different options, considering a lot of different candidates.
This is all wrong about you.
Thinking outside the box, including Oprah Winfrey was a consideration for a little bit of while. All of these facts, and when the whole story comes out, and that's why I'd like every one of those tapes to be heard at that impeachment trial. I am the anti-Nixon when it comes to releasing tapes.
All right. I don't think I got the straight answer here, but it's a deal.
The answer
Here's
is
the thing.
Innocent.
Okay. If you're not, sir,
yes.
Do you understand the damage that you are doing? Because we're about this close to getting buckets of tar and a whole bunch of chickens and dipping you people into it and sticking chickens to you. Do you understand that? Do you understand that?
Look, if God forbid what you're saying is the case, I've got bigger problems than worrying about you tarring and feathering me. I have done nothing criminally wrong.
That was just part 1 of the interview. Tomorrow, part 2, you are not going to believe how it ends. Don't miss it tomorrow. Next, former attorney